J. Hibb, Stretford, Paddock. That's Joe Smith. This is Paddock Live. What's the difference between Manchester United and Manchester City?
Well,
other than history, not facing 115 charges, having a big fan base, that sort of thing.
Only one of them, Jay, can win the quadruple.
Exactly, my brother.
Hey?
Manchester City out of the Carabao Cup, which is also the most important trophy as well.
It's the best trophy.
They won't be winning that. They won't be doing a quadruple. Newcastle beating them in the sports washing derby. We're going to be going live in a bit. Well, we're not going to be going live. We are live. We're going to be covering the Carabao Cup live draw. Yes. Have you got a preference for who you want in it?
Give me City, fuck it. Best team in the competition. I want to beat them.
I'd love us to get City, actually.
Just give me Man
Old
City
Trafford.
So we can beat them, right a few wrongs. Perfect. I mean, if you want to win it, you've got to beat the best teams, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Either Man City or Leicester. That's who I want.
No, give me Blackburn. Just give me. I just want.
Blackburn away is elite.
Yeah, but it's at home because United always play at home. What is it? 11 cup ties at home or something in a row.
Yeah, the money's probably already gone out of our accounts.
Yeah.
Get involved in the comments in the chat. Hit that like button as well. There's over 1,000 people watching. Well, there's almost 1,000 people watching. Wow. And we've not even got to 100 likes. That is truly pathetic. Producer Ethan's here as well. I think we should give him a little nod. He's buzzing.
He's back from his big holiday.
He's been to Marbella in his villa.
Yeah.
Right. He's come back and straight away they've beaten City. His team. What a week. Life doesn't get much better than that.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Live and live, memento die. Or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? That kind of phrase, something like that. I tell you what, it's just good when City lose, isn't it? And we've not seen it yet this season. Yeah. We've not seen. When's the last time City lost a game? Producer Ethan will get on that. He'll tell us. But they don't lose very often. It's certainly been, I don't know, 4 months.
Was it not us at Old Trafford?
I don't even know. When's the last time Man City lost a game in any competition that wasn't a friendly? Producer Ethan's on it. He'll find out. But it's always good to see. No, the Community Shield doesn't count. It's a proper
they lost
game.
The Community Shield?
That doesn't count, does it?
All right, okay. I'm just trying to have a look now.
Was it last day of the season?
Brentford.
Brentford, last day of the season. That didn't count, did it?
Aye.
When's the last time they lost a game that had any effect on a trophy? Because they'd already won the league, so that doesn't count. Go on, find out.
Well, it must be the Carabao Cup last season, isn't it?
No, it's not. Is that the 5th of February, isn't it?
Well, they won all the other trophies, so the only one that they
lost... but the game that they lost in the league could have, up until they'd won it, could have meant that they lost it.
Oh, right, okay.
So, Is it that game there, the Tottenham game?
In the 5th of February.
So the last time City lost a game that could have possibly lost them a cup is on the 5th of February.
Yeah. If you want to go down that route.
That is horrible.
If you want to look at it that way.
But I look at it that way, don't you? The last time they lost a game that wasn't a dead rubber is the 5th of February.
I just don't think they count anymore.
What?
Like,
City?
What they do, yeah. They're cheating anyway.
Yeah, they are cheating.
We all know that.
Genuinely, they are.
Even without them charges, they'd still be cheating because they've got the cheat code with Erling Haaland and the rest of it. So I just ignore them. Do you know what I mean?
You ignore them until they lose.
Are they real? Is it really happening? No.
Probably not.
Do you know what I mean? The only time I take any notice of them was when we beat them at Old Trafford. Get involved in the comments and the chat. We are going to have the Carabao Cup draw in about 5 minutes. Loads of people in the chat as well. Jonathan Martin says, my 2 favourite dudes. Thank you, Jonathan. You're my favourite commenter. 19 Money says, I love Joe. Laughing emoji, heart emoji.
Thank you very much.
Christy Morland says, what channel is the draw on? Never mind that.
It's on here.
Watch it here. We'll talk you through the draw. We'll give you all the... Have you ever seen Donald Trump doing a League Cup draw?
What?
Those words, what I've said, are true.
Is it one of those like AI things?
Nope. It's from the 80s. Saint and Greavesy, right? Ian St. John and Jimmy Greaves, two former footballers, used to have a show called Saint and Greavesy on ITV. They flew
Who's the show named after?
It was Saint Francis of Assisi and
Anne of Gleaves.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
So they used to have a TV show. So
they flew over to Trump Tower. They did the quarter-final draw for the League Cup. It was probably like the Milk Cup at the time or the Littlewoods Cup or whatever. And Donald Trump did it in his office. He did the draw. If you Google, after this video, Google Donald Trump League Cup draw.
I've never heard of that.
And he's drawing these teams out, and obviously he hasn't got a clue what these words are.
Yeah.
And they're reacting, so they're going, oh, Spurs versus Liverpool, ooh. And he goes, is that a biggie?
Really?
Yeah.
Is this back when he sort of seemed to have a normal human brain?
Yeah,
almost?
this is before he became a megalomaniac.
Yeah.
This is when he was quite normal in inverted commas.
Just one thing I want to point out before you carry on, Jay. If you look at the top of the screen here, we are 34 subscribers away from 719,000. There's over 2,000 people watching now. There's no reason 34 of you can't just tick us over to 719,000.
So we put a link to subscribe in the chat. So
the button is just under the video. Click that. The link will be in the chat as well. Just hit subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get to 719,000. Come on. City have just lost a meaningful game for the first time since February. If that's not a reason to subscribe, I don't know what is.
If we can't get more subscribers in the next minute than City have had charges, then something's going wrong.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so we are going to be talking about the Carabao Cup Draw. Let us know in the comments in the chat who you would like Manchester United to get.
Just on that now, obviously United, City were probably the favourites for this competition because I assume they're the favourites for every competition that they're in. United now, where do you rank us in the ranking? So Arsenal are still there, Liverpool are still there. Obviously Newcastle just put City out as well. Do you put us after those three? Do you put us above any of them? Where, we are
if I'm being brutally honest, I think as it stands right now, I'd put the Scousers and Arsenal's favourites above us. Yeah. Not because I think they necessarily. I think if you put our strongest 11 against either of their strongest 11, I think we can actually win. Yeah. I think you have to look at the form Liverpool are in. They're just smashing it in terms of the. I think is it something like 7 straight wins that Klopp's on now? Yeah. And they tend to have an awful season and a really good one. Yeah. Like recently, that's what they've done. Arsenal, of course, have been doing pretty well this season. So I think we're probably third favourites, but close. Yeah. I mean, a lot of this will depend on the draw. If we got either Arsenal or Liverpool at home, I would 100% fancy us for that. Yeah. If we got either of them away, you'd probably fancy them. If we're going to be honest about our away form, let's not kid ourselves here. But last season, one good thing for us was the fact that up until the final, we had winnable games, didn't we? Yeah. It was all at home. I think the only away one was it wasn't even away. It was both legs. It was Nottingham Forest. Yeah. Unless I'm misremembering. I think was it Villa at home, Charlton at home. Yeah. I'm probably missing out a couple. Was it Everton? I can't remember. But anyway, it was a relatively comfortable run to that final. And in the final, I don't even think we got our third gear really. Newcastle didn't quite get going, and we won that comfortably. It was one of our better performances last season, to be fair. So we'll have to wait and see if that's the case this season. If we get a run like we had last season, then I fancy us to win it again. Even without that run, even if we get difficult games, we can still win it. And obviously we've got the experience now. Swapney Kugnagi says Ipswich away. Nace Apelithi says Bananas in Pyjamas Joe is back. Love the shirt. Is this the outfit that everyone was saying you look like you're about to open a dinosaur-based theme park? Is this one?
Wouldn't have thought so.
No? I don't even notice it anymore.
It is the same one.
Is it? When I saw it, I didn't think anything of it.
See? You get used to it. Yeah. We're immune to it. Stockholm Syndrome.
Mickey Lad 1 says, United will get Everton away. Here's a question for you. Oh, I've forgotten who asked it. Someone's asked it and I can't see who's asked it. Forgive me. Oh, yeah, it's Mr. Manzi. Says, Joe, what kicks have you got on with that rascal cord?
Great question. If we could just cut to the wide shot, I'll show you. Socks. So
he doesn't wear his shoes because when he wears his shoes, he looks massive, massive.
I've just got some sandals.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, but over there. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Who do you want to get in the next round and where?
I want, right?
Yeah.
Liverpool way.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Why do you want to add another 7-0 to the calendar?
Revenge, Joseph.
No, let's not
Revenge.
Do that.
Yeah.
Revenge is a dish best served avoiding Liverpool.
They had the little, one-off, the little moment in the sun. Yeah.
They also beat us 5-0 away.
They had the little 2-off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's time for us to get back to winning ways against them at Anfield.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been so bad against them.
We've been awful away from home.
Home and away.
No, we beat them at home last season.
Yeah, but not really.
What do you mean? Not really.
Didn't we lose?
Like, we literally did.
The season before, did we not lose 4-1 at home or something?
No, the season before we lost 5-0 at home.
Oh, that was it.
What are you on about?
So, and then what was the away, the season before last, what was the away game? Was that 4-1 or something? I'm sure they scored 9 in total against us.
Yeah, it might. No, the away was 4-0.
That was it.
And the home was 5-0. And then last season we won the home game, but we lost the away 7-0. So our aggregate over the last 4 games has been played 4, won 1, lost 3, scored
1.
2, conceded
17.
Is it? Is that
I think
what it
so.
is? 9,
4 had 5 is 9,
17,
6 is 15.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. We'll do him. The phone book goes out the window when it's United versus Liverpool anyway.
Just give me Blackburn at home.
Oh, yeah, here's a good one for you. Malk Farugia says, give us Chelsea. I'd have that.
I won't mind that, yeah.
Yeah, because I know they won't obviously beat Brighton, which is a decent result, but it's a bit weird when it's the Carabao. You never know what's going on there.
You said to me before, you went, oh, with Brighton put out a foot, what are the teams like? Because and I saw Sanchez and Caicedo, I thought, Brighton have gone strong, and then realised that isn't Brighton anymore.
It's mental, isn't it?
It's bizarre. Like Chelsea, I don't even know what their first choice is. They've got 50 players in their squad, and there's about 25 of them that they can start in any given game, and you go, yeah, that seems like the first choice.
They went strong, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Like, say they went strong. I struggle to know what Chelsea's strong team is now.
I mean.
But Jackson up front, Palmer started, Mejbri, who usually starts from Caicedo, Chilwell, Colwell, Disasi, Cucurella. I know Cucurella doesn't usually always start, and then Sanchez.
That is shit, that team. I'm sorry, that is a bad team.
Brighton made a few changes though, to be fair. So yeah, the Brighton team, it was a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, Brighton had the likes of. See, this is what I mean. It's difficult with Brighton because I don't even know some of their players always start. Dunk didn't play at all. He usually plays from.
Yeah, they've got March, Gilmour, Lallana and Welbeck on the bench. Yeah. They've rotated pretty heavily.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a mixed bag there. I wouldn't look too much into it, but I'd fancy us to beat Chelsea. Chelsea this season have been absolutely shocking.
Isn't this draw meant to be ongoing? Was it not meant to start at 15:15? Are we missing something? Okay, thank you. Maybe we're not, but I thought it was meant to start at 15:15 and it's not on, is it? But yeah, City losing is always a good thing, isn't it? Yeah. Do you think they were thinking quadruple in the back of their minds, or they sort of rotated players? Do you think they sort of accepted the fact that they're probably not going to win this? Or do you know what I mean? Like, what are City's targets this season, do you think? Repeat last year's, win another title, go for the quad? Obviously they can't do that now. But were you surprised that they rotated?
No, because I think City have got such a strong squad and a group of players that even when they're rotating, they're not bringing in nobodies, are they? They're bringing in like the likes of Jack Grealish started tonight, Nathan Ake, I think Akanji played.
Yeah,
like these are all top level players that walk into any other team. A lot of these players played in like the Champions League final and things like that. So I don't think they've gone into it thinking, oh, we don't have to play anyone. Do you remember when City played us in the Carabao a few years ago? Well, about 7 years ago now, when it was Jose and Pep's first season.
Yeah.
And Pep played like half his youngsters and they lost. Yeah. And I think that got in his head a little bit. Cause I remember being at a press conference when United had won the Carabao Cup that season and he was a bit annoyed when the press kept asking him about did he make a mistake because United had won a trophy and that would have been your chance to win the first trophy. But ever since then they've had a pretty ridiculous record in it. So I don't know. I think he's probably looked at that team and thought, I've got a strong enough team here to more than win the game.
Yeah.
Just going through some other results from tonight.
Yeah, go through
just so you know who we can have. So Everton beat Villa at Villa Park. That's a good result for them. Blackburn battered Cardiff. Bournemouth beat Stoke. Arsenal beat Brentford. Chelsea beat Brighton. Fulham beat Norwich. West Ham beat Lincoln. Liverpool beat Leicester. Newcastle beat City. So obviously the big guns there, you can have a Newcastle, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. You could argue maybe you could throw West Ham into the mix. West Ham away is a bit of a tricky one. Yeah. So like you say, a lot of it for me depends on whether it's home or away. Because United at home, the Brighton games apart were pretty perfect.
Yeah.
Away from home, it's a different story, innit? Especially against the stronger team. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Get involved in the comments in the chat. Let us know. Just let us know what you think about this season, because this season we've got the Champions League.
Yeah.
Which, okay, we had the Europa last season. Champions League is obviously harder.
Premier.
It's the top level. You've got to play probably stronger teams and the rest fewer players. You've also you want to try and either improve on the league or make top four again. I think that's going to be harder this season when you look at Liverpool strengthening, Spurs getting their acts together under Postecoglou.
Arsenal still feel strong.
Arsenal are still strong. City are obviously have just taken one of the top four places away from everyone else. Yeah. They're not going to finish outside the top four. Let's just get that one straight out there. So you've almost got to be stronger in the league this season to finish where you did last season or to finish top four. So there's that part of it as well. Then you've got the Carabao and the FA Cup. What would you do if you're Ten Hag in the Carabao? Are you mixing it up? Are you going strong again to win that early trophy? What's your thoughts?
I think if you face a top team, you have to go strong.
Yeah.
I don't think we can risk getting battered because it's still quite fragile in terms of confidence and all that this season. If we get a Chelsea, even a West Ham, like you said, those 5 you mentioned, Chelsea, West Ham, actually 4. No, 5, sorry. Chelsea, West Ham, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle. If we get one of them, I think you've got to go pretty much full team, full strength.
Okay.
Whereas if you get a Blackburn, I think you can risk it a bit more. Not mostly because the quality is low, but also because, we'll probably get through anyway. So I don't, I just think that we can't afford to get battered in any competition because things are just feel a bit more fragile and fractious this season, don't they? Where he's not getting the rub of the green, and people are starting to turn on him. I'm seeing pundits, I'm seeing social media just start to sort of force some cracks in Ten Hag. So I don't think we can risk a battering. Obviously, you don't want to risk, a surprise knockout to Blackburn either. But I think we probably won't do that. So I think you've got to go for it. What other option does he have? Just maybe lose. I don't see that as an option really, do you?
No, I think we have got. If everyone's fit, I know everyone isn't. If he gets quite a few players back, we have got options. You can have a few different options there. Like, you've got midfield options now. You've got Mount, you've got Hannibal, you've got Amrabat, you've got Ericsson, you've got Casemiro.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm probably missing someone out. Forgive me.
Bruno,
yeah, that's the obvious one, the skipper.
Yeah.
So you've got 6 players there for 3 midfield positions. Up front, you might start Martial. It's not the end of the world if Anthony Martial starts for you. I know he's not everyone's flavour of the month, but he's still, if he's fit, can do a job. You've got the likes of Garnacho, you've got Palestra, you've got Marcus Rashford. You've got, I know we're a bit short from, but Mount can even play sort of in a more advanced role on the right-hand side or whatever. Defensively, where we've had all our injuries, again, if players are coming back from injury, all of a sudden you might have some options there. You might be able to play, say, Varane and Lindelof, or Maguire and Varane, or Evans and Martinez or whatever. Yeah. So there's a few options there, but I do get your point. I think if you've got a game at home against a top team, you want to play a strong team because you don't want to lose it at home. No. And also, if you go away to, say, Anfield, you cannot afford to get battered again. No. You can't afford to change even anything. I wouldn't even go with your second choice right back. I'd be like, what is my strongest available team? Yeah, let's go for it. Because the away record, that could end up undermining Erik Ten Hag's entire tenure. It really could, and it worries me a little bit that, because I don't think you can have too many of them hammerings away at your rivals.
No, eventually we need to start winning those, don't we?
I think it's when people start going, look, this guy doesn't sort this out, something's got to change. Yeah. So I don't think it'll come to that, but I'm just making a point.
Yeah, definitely.
Cheech7 says Glazers out. David Harrington says Exeter or Blackburn, let Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea and Newcastle play each other. Graham Sharkey says, fair play to Joe for doing this stream the same day as being released from Alcatraz. Like that, good stuff.
It's the flight that kills you. It's not even the emotional thing. It's just the flight.
Did anyone escape from Alcatraz, or did they die?
No, not really. I don't think so.
I think someone got out, didn't they? But they don't know if they got to shore.
Yeah, there's sort of some unknowns, but I don't think there's any official definitely escaped and lived to tell the tale. People.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit.
Where's Ethan? That's the third person who's asked where Ethan is.
Where? But he's over there. Where else would he be?
He's producing.
He's producing the video like he always does.
Yeah.
Other than sort of 2 of the last 3 weeks.
He's been away to Marbella.
Yeah.
And now he's back to mingle with us.
Yeah.
He's had his little holiday. RH13RH13 says, did Joe rob his clobber off a cartoon prisoner? I like the wording of that.
Yeah, rob his clobber.
Rob his clobber sounds like something I'd say.
It does actually.
Have you been robbing clobber again? Robin Clobber was actually a mate of mine from school.
Was he?
Yeah.
Why do they lie about what time this draw is, by the way? Why did it say 15:15? And then their stream on Twitter says 20 past. It's now 25 past. What are they doing? Why is this always the case with every cup draw? Just get it done. I tell you what, don't even televise it. Just tweet it. Just tell us what it is.
Imagine the meltdown. Imagine the meltdown if they didn't televise it. If you couldn't see it going on. Do you remember? There's a meltdown anyway. People get all suspicious. Oh, there's warm and cold balls and all that nonsense.
You check your lottery numbers on the website, don't you? You're not saying, welcome to the Lotto on the 29th of September.
Very good, that.
Do you know what I mean? You're not doing all that yet. Oh, it's the first time in 6 months that we've seen the number 45 there.
Why
You're
do
not checking all that shit out.
Why do they always give him like little personalities and that?
First time since the Jubilee.
Yeah.
We are seeing 21.
Like 21's a person, isn't
And
it?
our golden Powerball this evening, 9. I mean, you don't need to watch that. You just check it out on teletext or the website. Same with this. Print it off, stick it through my letterbox, and I'll find out that way. Don't need to watch it, especially when it's going to start 25 minutes later than it ought to.
Richard S says, hey Joe, what was Shoeless Jackson like?
I don't know who that is, but I'm guessing
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Is he a baseball
Have you
player?
ever seen Field of Dreams?
Yeah.
You've seen Ray Liotta in it?
Oh, fair.
He plays Shoeless Joe Jackson,
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
who was a real baseball player in the early 1900s, but he got suspended and banned because of the Red Sox. Was it the Red Sox, Boston Red Sox scandal, whatever it was, where they fixed the World Series?
You're joking?
No, so he never got to play again, and he was always maintained his innocence.
Did he not wear shoes?
It was a nickname that was from like, when he was a kid. He did wear shoes.
Promise.
When he was a kid, like...
Jay?
What?
Promise me he wore shoes.
There was a time, right, he got the nickname Shoeless Joe Jackson because once when he played baseball years ago when he was a kid, he didn't have any shoes and the nickname stuck.
Here we go. Look at them. They're doing it in what can only be described as some sort of... I don't even know. Like a display kitchen in the back of a B&Q.
It looks like, yeah, like in one of those, sort of the corner of IKEA or something.
Yeah, heavy shadows on the back of the wall there behind Neil Lennon. This is nice. This is good to see.
Neil Lennon had a contest with himself, see how little he can move.
Yeah, Neil Lennon is absolutely frozen on the spot.
It looks like the screen had frozen then.
Yeah, it looks like a painting that you see it blink. Oh, there he goes. He's moved his head finally. This is it.
There we go.
This is the big one.
Yes, it is.
Look at that, Neil Lennon's head, eh?
Is that Don Goodman? What are you laughing at?
I don't even know. I love this. So what they've got in front of them, they've got a sort of...
Can we get any volume on this?
They've got a little plinth, and then on top of the plinth, they've got kind of an egg holder
situation. You know what they've got there is our trophy. That's our Carabao Cup trophy.
Yeah, why haven't you got red tassels on it?
Whenever it's anything with the Premier League, they put the blue tassels on it.
Get the red tassels on that trophy now.
Plymouth right, what ball are we? We're 4.
We're ball number 4.
Other ones to look out for are 15, which is the Scousers, 12, which is Chelsea, and 16, which is Newcastle.
And 11, which is Arsenal.
Oh, yeah, good shout.
Thanks.
So,
we're looking at your Port
11
Vales,
onwards.
Your Mansfields, your Exeters, your Blackburns.
I think we'll get Exeter at home. Exeter at home, that's my bingo.
I'd love that.
Go on, what's your prediction?
I genuinely think we'll get a big boy because we always get a Premier League team, but we'll get them at home. I think we'll get Bournemouth at home.
Okay.
And we just want Arsenal and Liverpool to play each other, don't we? Chelsea and Newcastle play each other.
Yeah.
We get, East Rutherford or whatever it is. Ernest Rutherford at home.
V4D3R says, hey Joe, I'm still waiting for the ice cream.
Thank you.
Matt Ketley's been a member of the first team for 32 months, says, we'll be nice to face Ipswich just to see Williams and Tuanzebe again. They felt more comfortable against Wolves than we were last night.
And the first ball out tonight, it's number 5. That is Mansfield, of course. Just down the road from my hometown of Works up there. Follow Mansfield Road. And you know where you'll end up. Number 7. What are we?
Port Vale.
Oh,
we're number 4.
sake.
We're 4.
That's the last thing we wanted to see. The 2 worst teams playing each other. This is hell.
Mingle them balls a little bit,
Come
you
on,
weasels.
Neil.
Hey.
Oh, I've won a treble in Scotland. I don't
Who
care.
hasn't?
Number 3. That's not us.
No, that's not us.
That's Ipswich.
Well,
We'll take that. Do we want that? High-flying Ipswich.
Kieran McKenna will do us.
He will. Versus number 13. That's a big boy, isn't it?
I think, is it Arsenal or... No, it's not Arsenal, it's
Fulham. Okay, that's okay.
Hey.
Again, though, 2 teams you wouldn't mind facing. Oh, dear. We're drifting towards a city... number 4.
Yes,
United
we're at home.
We're at home. We're always at home.
Go on.
That's 12. I believe that's 12 in a row. Andy Mitten will tweet how many in a row it is because he loves it. And it's every single time. Come on. Small number. Number 16. Newcastle.
It's the Carabao Cup final again. We've got Newcastle at home.
I knew we'd get a Premier League team at home.
Yes, it's obviously we're going to be at home. We're always at home, and it's always going to be a Premier League team.
How can we always be at home?
I don't know.
It's so bizarre.
It is bizarre.
United have got Newcastle at home. I mean...
Neil Lennon could do with cleaning his fingernails, the absolute tramp.
He's been at his allotment. Just 15. Who's that?
Liverpool get Bournemouth. They play Bournemouth every week.
They do play Bournemouth every week. So Liverpool have got Bournemouth. United have got Crucially, Newcastle at home. Number 12 there. Who's that?
Chelsea.
Chelsea at home.
11. Give him Arsenal.
11.
Give him Arsenal. Give him Arsenal. Give him Arsenal.
Come on. 10. Oh. Who's that? That's already been out.
Blackburn.
Oh. This is hell. This is hell. This is absolute hell, Jay. 14.
Scousers. Is it?
West Ham.
West Ham, sorry. Ignore me.
Scousers are already against Bournemouth.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
West Ham at home. West Ham play at home against
11.
Ooh, Arsenal. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's a tough draw for Arsenal, that. Not
That's
simple,
the
that
Declan Rice derby.
Yeah, the Declan Rice derby. It's also the...
Ian Wright derby.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's also...
Go on.
The...
Go on.
Right.
You can do this.
Yeah, I'm
John Hartson derby.
I'm not going to go at you, am I? I'm just...
John Hartson derby.
Yeah, it's also...
Lucas Fabianski derby.
The Lucas Fabianski derby, yeah. I was just going to say that. Hold on. Everton are at home in the 4th round versus number 1, Burnley. Ooh, that's
Burnley.
a real absolute...
That's one for put you to sleep, innit? If you're having trouble sleeping, stick that one on.
Everton, Burnley.
Everton, Burnley.
Number 2. I'd love to...
Neil Lennon's fingernails are annoying me.
Yeah, me too. Exeter will play at home against the mighty... Middlesbrough. Our Michael Carrick. Right, so United have got Newcastle at home. Jay, give me your reaction, give me your thoughts.
Tough game.
Yeah.
Like Newcastle out, probably the 4th best team in the competition behind ourselves, Arsenal and the Scousers.
Correct.
So it is a difficult one. But at home, I'd fancy us against anyone. At home against Newcastle, I would definitely fancy us. I know they drew us at Old Trafford in the league last season. We obviously beat them in the Carabao Cup. I think they'll be up for this. I think Eddie Howe and Newcastle in general want to win a trophy. Ethan, is there any chance of getting you on camera? Come here.
Come here,
we can do this.
Let's do this.
Alexa, you jump on. Yeah, you can use my...
This is great.
Come on.
Where are you going?
I'm not, you can use my camera. My microphone, sorry.
Hello.
Right, just bear with me.
Resident producer...
We're rolling with the punches here.
Resident producer and Newcastle fan Ethan James here. He's just back fresh from his holiday.
I'm going to do this like Robbie Lyle when he used to do stuff on TV in the early days. Remember when he had that little microphone? Ethan is our resident Newcastle fan, but despite that, we love him. Ethan, give us your reaction from the Newcastle perspective. United at Old Trafford in the next round of the Carabao Cup.
I'm gutted.
Really?
Just beat Man City at home. It was incredible. Just turned it around completely second half. I thought we were going out after the first half display. And then it's like, wow, that's amazing. Give me a Mansfield, give me a Port Vale. There's Exeter's in there, for God's sake. And then you get Man United. It's sod's law, isn't it?
Going into this game, right, if you're Eddie Howe, or as a Newcastle fan, would you want to see him play a strong team, as stronger team as possible, and go for it? Or would you think, mix it up, we've got the league, we've got the Champions League
as well.
Yeah. How do you think he's going to go into this one?
You're rotated, Jay. You're rotated, but obviously, like, I want to progress in the cup. I want to try and... I haven't won a trophy since 1969. I loved going down to Wembley when we did against you guys. Why not have something like that again? Put out a strong team. Probably will have to rotate, like you said, Champions League, but you've got to give it a go, don't you? You've got to give it a bash.
Are you going to jump on a watch along with us?
Might well do.
We'll shut you off if you win.
Yeah, we will do. We'll keep you behind there and we'll just turn your camera off as soon as you do it.
Right, thanks, Eve. Thanks for jumping on, brother.
Well done.
Good lad.
Newcastle fans around the country, if there's anything to go by, shitting their pants at the prospect of playing Manchester United at Old Trafford. Finally, the fear factor is back. No, it's good to see, though, innit, that people don't quite love the idea of playing United at Old Trafford, because at the start of the season, I was starting to question it.
No, our record at home is I think it's as good as almost anyone's, isn't it, in the league? In terms of the amount of games won, it's just the odd little Brighton hoodoo that's done for us. Give us your reaction. I want to get everyone's reaction to that that draw. 2 Bisaka says, is Joe cosplaying a member of Liverpool's 1996 FA Cup final squad? Bit tasteless for United. Channel winky emoji. Tanya Simmer says, lol, 99% of the chat is about Joe's shirt. Lot of love for Ethan. Nikhil says, thank you, Ethan. Hendrick says, big up, Ethan. Jake in the box says, Ethan is so funny, man. I love him. Sagan says, was Ethan standing in a hole?
Yes, he was.
It's where
a
we
hole
keep
of
him.
his own. I don't want to say it, actually, do I?
What?
Nah.
His own digging.
Yeah.
Chanzi Mwanza says, we will beat Newcastle 3-1. And David Ellingsworth says, Joe's just finished his shift at the Dinosaur Themes Park. Hit that like button. Let's get to 1,000 likes, almost 4,000 people watching. Jonathan Martin says, we will win it up the Paddock.
Yeah.
Jose Ramirez says, bring it on. Yeah. Samaldo7 says, loving Joe's pyjamas.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. We're going to talk a little bit about some other United stories we've got. We're going to whiz through these because I'm probably not selling these as the right way I should, but a lot of these stories are a bit...
Well, it's worth talking about.
They're worth talking about, but they're not like, it's not like breaking news or mad stories. Otherwise, we'd have gone straight into it. But let's talk through them. Let's talk about Antony then.
I think it's just it's a quick...
This is an update. Joseph, talk us through this, and we'll give a little recap on the Carabao Cup Draw in a minute. But let's talk about some United stuff.
Antony has agreed to meet Great Manchester Police to answer questions. It's understood that the 23-year-old is willing to surrender his phone to GMP to aid their investigation. His ex-partner, Gabriela Cavallin, made allegations of abuse via Brazil news outlet UOL, which Antony denies. Further assault allegations followed from Racer De Freitas and Ingrid Lana. United say they are taking the allegations seriously and have granted Antony leave with full pay to deal with the allegations. Antony had been in Brazil for international duty but was withdrawn from the squad. Another point on this, I don't know if we've got a graphic on this, but I believe it's also the case that Gabriela Cavallin will also be coming to Manchester to speak about this.
Right.
I saw that a couple of hours ago, or a little, not too long ago, that she's going to come to Manchester as well. So this is the sort of the English portion of this investigation sort of commencing now. What we've heard so far, a lot of it's come from Brazil, Brazilian outlets. It's been Antony speaking in Portuguese on social media and to different outlets again. This is the sort of the English side of this, where obviously some of the accusations are said or alleged to have taken place in England, and this is, I guess, where he's going to be sort of, facing criticism and scrutiny there from the police. Obviously,
whatever the scenario, we just hope justice is served, whether that's Antony clearing his name or the women involved getting the justice that they seek. Yeah. Well, as always, we'll keep you posted on it. I'm not going to start getting into opinionated stuff on an ongoing investigation. We'll keep it covered, and then when it's resolved, then we can get into a bit of a discussion and debate about it. But by all means, you can discuss it. I'm not saying you can't. Just let's be respectful, especially when there's people accused of serious charges and there's potential victims involved as well. Yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah, so we've got a sort of double header here. So this is Hannibal Mejbri. See the little title there? Definitely Mejbri.
Definitely Mejbri. It's good, but it's a tap-in.
It's been done, but we like it anyway. This is the news that United are sort of planning to offer him a new contract. And if you actually look into the details of this, they haven't really spoken about it. He's focused on these games. They're going to open the discussions later this year, which sounds pretty open-ended. But when you remember, there's only sort of 2 months and 3 days left of this year. It's not exactly a world away, or half the world away, as I should maybe say. But what I'm saying is, this isn't like a current thing. He's not actively signing a new contract right now. So I think really this is Fabrizio Romano with a little bit of creative social mediaism following, next graphic, this. Hannibal's sort of, as you like to say, flavour of the month, isn't he? He's had 2 really good performances, one of which he broke a 5-year record for running the most against Burnley, which again, distance
running the most against Burnley or running the most, like, in general?
He broke the record for running the most of any United player in 5 years, and he broke that record against Burnley.
So it wasn't he ran the most against Burnley?
Well, it was both, obviously.
Right, no, but it wasn't just specifically.
No.
Because it could have. He ran most against Burnley, but someone ran more against Villa, or someone ran more against.
The idea of a record that is 5 years old that only pertains to Burnley.
That's what I mean. It sounded very specific. That's what it.
That's way too specific. We don't deal in those sort of specificities on this channel. It was a 5-year record across all games, and he happened to break it against Burnley. He also he's averaging the most presses per minute or per match, I think, across the whole Premier League, with like 100 presses per match, which is insane. 12.9 kilometres. He's ran further than any United player since they began collecting these records in 2019, which is weird because that's not 5 years ago. And it's also weird because what I hate about stats is they sort of imply that anything before this stat didn't happen. Like it says here, or the most in 5 years is what I'm saying. The most running in 5 years, most running in 5 years. Well, we only started recording in 2019, and also, so it could be the most in history. Like, why do, it's like, well, it's the most in 5 years. Yeah, but what was the one before that? Well, we don't know, because we weren't recording it. So it may be more than 5 years then, in at least 5 years, or since records began is what we should say.
I love that. That sounds even better.
Yeah.
Since records began. Love Mejbri.
Yeah.
A live wire, great player. The whole Romano thing about him getting new contracts. United do like to offer contracts a little bit hastily, shall we say. I don't mind us offering a 20-year-old one, but let's just calm it down a little bit. And it sounds like we are doing really. Like you say, that tweet wasn't very sort of emphatic. Let's move on to the last one.
Yes.
Is it the last one, I think?
Yeah, it is. So this is another one. Just one to keep an eye on going forward. This is Gnabry, nabbing a winger here. Nice.
Yeah, that's better.
It's not bad, that is it. Manchester United plotting January move for
Did
former
we get this
Arsenal
picture
forward.
underwater?
Well, that's drawn in pastel. Alexis drawn that one in pastel there, which is why it's so
It's
sort
very
of...
good, that, Alexis, considering you've drawn it by hand.
Yeah, that's why it's so chalky and smudged. United are currently short on firepower, with Antony taking leave of absence following... It could see the Red Devils enter the transfer market to sign German international Serge Gnabry from Bayern Munich. At Munich, Gnabry has established himself as a key member of the German Giants side, making 2-2-3 appearances for the club and scoring 8-2 goals.
Okay, so despite the fact he's a key member of their side,
let him go.
We could buy him.
Yeah.
Because,
they're sick of his wishy-washy appearance.
Right, nice.
Do you know what I mean? Because he turns up and he's
He's out of focus.
He's not
like,
focused.
Serge, what are you doing? You're not even in focus. You're ruining the team photo.
Yeah.
And
Why do you seem to be lacking focus?
And he's like, listen, I've scored 82 goals in 223 games. I can do what I want.
I can look like an effing watercolour if I want to.
So sod off.
Can't I? I can look like I was drawn by... I don't want to say that. Yes, someone who might not be good at drawing. Right, we've got any more comments, Jay?
Weak journalism, says Makarov. Acorn Electric says, what about Diallo? Mohamed Omar says, lol. Kate Bob says, Daily Mail is totally unreliable. There is no way Serge will leave United. Leave Bayern for United. Chris Lee says, like Joe, former England manager Graham Taylor is from Worksop. If he was still alive today and if questioned about Joe's suit, I am sure Graham would have answered, do I not like that? I think that is.
If he were alive today and were questioned about Joe's suit, I love that. Great phrasing, great sentiment. Love
I like
Graham
the fact
Taylor.
he's tied it into you're from Worksop.
It's incredible.
That is elite commenting.
It's genuinely brilliant. I think that's a great place to end the show.
Big thank you to everyone who got involved in the comments in the chat. Big thank you to Ethan James for jumping on with us and Alexi as well for coming up with the pun.
And I got one more thing.
Oh, actually, yeah, go on.
I want to give a bit of a shout out to I met a bloke earlier today at Rad's restaurant, which is a Jamaican place that does fantastic food in Ancoats. But I said hello, bumped into him. Great to see him. Had a nice little chat. I said I'd give him a shout out. So that is to you, mate. Thank you for having a chat with me before.
We've got a big announcement tomorrow on this channel.
Big announcement.
Me, Joe, Steve, Anna McCullough. We're going to be here for Off the Bar, and we've got a big announcement coming up. So make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe, because you're going to see something going down tomorrow. So make sure you don't miss out on all of that. And if you've not done already, give us a like as well. Joe, thanks for joining me. As always, been fantastic. Ethan, thank you. Alexi, thank you. And thanks to all you at home or wherever you are for watching as well. See you on the next one.